The vibration went through my skull, and then there was an explosion of light, and in front of me and across the table, there was this being standing wearing this white robe. He had long hair. His face looked like a Mongol, beautiful face, like between male and female. His body was absolutely male. He was like an athlete with shoulders well defined. And I remember being so scared that I just wanted to run at the moment. My heart was going so fast that I felt it in my throat. And I sensed that if I keep quiet, I was going to explode. So I immediately break the ice and I asked him, are you going to say something? Am I supposed to write something? I was waiting for a message. So I sense some kind of energy or field coming from his body. I couldn't see that energy. I felt it like if it was an invisible force that was coming from him and embracing me. And that energy came with a feeling. I felt embraced by a loving brother. And my brain immediately translated that into the words little brother. I realized so many things at the same time. I noticed telepathy was not the transmission of thought. It was actually a feeling. A feeling was complete. A thought is just a fraction. But this thing, I didn't have any doubt of his intention. So that's the way that experience started. That was my first contact with beings from another reality. Yes, I'm not gonna say extraterrestrials because I don't think they are. My view have changed through the years. So I'm here to do my own disclosure. I know these days you are looking at the evidence from governments, from people, from elites, but let me tell you, the contact is happening all over the planet. The contact doesn't choose uh, elites to give the information. The contact is going through all the levels of our society and culture. And we better be ready for what it is. I'm not telling you they are hiding this from you. I'm telling you they tell you through filters. And I'm not pretending that I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you my experience of contact through these videos. And I'm going to be really open about discussing different concepts like telepathy today, like contact itself. So, my name is Enrique Villanueva. I consider myself an experiencer. I look for the paranormal phenomenon through my life. I had this experience spontaneously since I was a kid. So now that I am living this experience with a community, I'm gonna share with you what happened. So let's start with context. In 1988, I became part of a group of contact. I was 18 years old at the time in Lima, Peru. I was living there. The group of contact, the name is Rama. Rama means something like sunlight on earth. That name was suggested by these beings when they started the contact with the original people of Rama. Who were the original ones? Let's say Sixto and Charlie Paz Wells. They both brothers in 1974. They started this telepathic communication with beings that signal their origin uh, in one of the moons of Jupiter in Ganymedes. And they say that was not their original place, but that's kind of like a colony. And they came from Orion thousands of years before our time. And of course, in the beginning, they receive all this information, they ask for proof of this communication is real, Eventually, Sixto, Charlie, and a group of youngsters, teenagers, went to the Chilca Desert, south of the capital of Peru, south of Lima. They enter the desert a few miles. They come there and they have their first sightings. Through the years, the sightings become close encounters of the third and fourth kind, and eventually an encounter of the fifth kind, when they learn the protocols and they could open to the experience and even call them. Um, so this is happening since 1974 till now. Do I believe everything that the group of contact says? No, not at this point. When I started, I was 18 years old. Now I'm 56. Many things happen through the years. And I'm not denying the experience. I said the experience is real. What I'm saying is what we are contacting with probably is not what we think. No, I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. I'm not saying it's demons or angels, nothing like that. I'm just saying there is a control mechanism behind reality, and that control is filtering information that we can understand um, at the level we can understand, because in front of them we are like kids, and you just don't give kids everything they are not ready to understand, right? If a boy in 3 years old, 4 years old, ask where the babies are coming, the adults are not going to give details about sex, right? The adults are going to point at the flowers and the bees and explain that. And probably the kid is going to have a sense of where the babies are coming from. But when they grow up and they have a partner and they have babies, they will understand deeply what it means. It's the same. We are not at their level, the level of those beings. Um, we are not able to imagine, not even imagine their reality. In our technological development, we think they are extraterrestrial beings and they have these great machines and technology and spaceships. But the truth is that what we are seeing, what we witness, what we record with our cameras is not really them, is what they allow us to see. And they allow us to see that because they are guiding our path, our evolution towards a goal that is common between us and them. But I'm not going to extend too much into this. I'm going to tell you that in the group of contact in Rama, from the beginning, 1974, they really thought, and they still think, they are in contact with different civilizations. They believe 70 civilizations are organized under this um, federation of planets, kind of like uh, Enterprise and the movies of Star Wars and things like that. Let's imagine that it's real. Many civilizations are a conglomerate, and there are other civilizations that are against this 70s that are pointing at the development of planets like ours. Okay, so kind of like a war in the sky, right? The good people that are for us and the bad that are against us. Um, I honestly think now that that's a metaphor. That's something we can understand, but not the real thing. Okay? I have my reasons. You will understand as I make more videos, but um, when I started in Rama, I was 18. I already practiced meditation for many years. And since 12 years old, I have experiences of expansion of consciousness. So when I get in contact with the group, the Rama group, and the experiences they have, I was in a way prepared for what was coming. And As they started having the experiences in groups, I noticed they give preference to the ones that have already 1 year, 2 years in the group. When I entered with the youngsters, the newbies, and we were between 17 years old and 20 something, a group of about 15 people. And I remember we were not considered for the main practices, the main experiences they were going to have. And this group that was formed in the 70s, they already have what they call antennas. The antennas were the people ready to receive or open a channel of communication, telepathic communication. So when they feel this energy and this information coming, it came with an electrical impulse in the hand. So they grab a pen and paper and they start writing the message. That was the role of the antenna. So the antennas were in different groups, mostly groups that have the experience. But you have to imagine we were the newbies and we were always put to the side when the big experiences came. So we were really fed up with the situation. We didn't want to wait for the old guys to pick us up. So what I did is I proposed to my group of 15 kids, you know what? We need an antenna. I'm gonna try to receive this information. So that day, that night, I started with the uh, attempt of communication. How did I do? At 11 p.m. in my home, I grabbed paper and pen, and as I waited, I closed my eyes, breathed deeply, slowly, and then I imagined the feeling of friendship, like I'm open to contact, like I'm so eager to get close to you and learn from you and exchange with you. So all those feelings here in the area of my chest or my heart. Then I imagine vividly with images and even language. I imagine not just the feeling, but the images of the possible contact, like the situation where there is a spaceship and some uh, beings there transferring or transmitting the information into my head or my body or whatever it was. And I imagine me receiving the information and then being invited somewhere and then meeting with them. I imagine the whole thing. Once I was like emotional about that imagination and that visualization, I connect the energy. Like this feeling went up into my head, and then as a beam of light, it projected itself into the space. When it went really high, let's say miles or towards the center of the galaxy. Let's imagine that. Then this beam of light is gonna open and spread in every direction. Like when you open a fan, those Chinese fans, yeah? Imagine the beam of light taking the message I concentrate into the space and sending it in every direction. So then I relax and waited with the feeling in me, but waiting. Few minutes later, I sense some energy running through my head, going down my body, and it was a nice feeling. I like it. I look around, nothing happens. I waited for about 15, 20 minutes, nothing happens. So I said, I'm gonna try it tomorrow again. Next day, next night at 11 p.m. again, grab paper and pen, did the whole process I told you, feeling, imagination, connect, project the beam of light, open in every direction, sending the message, the signal to whoever is listening. I'm here in friendship, openness, waiting 5 minutes, the energy again running through my body. A few minutes more, and then I sensed the presence of someone in the room. I turned my face, there was no one there, and I closed my eyes again. And then 15 minutes passed, 20 minutes passed, nothing happened. So I thought, okay, tomorrow I'll try again. Third night, 11 p.m., I'm with paper and pen, Same procedure. Again, I did the whole visualization feeling. Then I felt the energy running to my head, into my body. That was a nice feeling. I already knew it, but it was nothing. No ideas, not thoughts, not anything. Just that energy. And then in the minute, maybe 5 or 7, a strong sense of being observed. Someone was in the room. So I turned my face and see around, thinking that I was going to find my brother or my dad who woke up at night. I don't know. But no one was there. So I grabbed pen, put the hand down. As I closed my eyes, my mind's eye suddenly opened. I could see with my eyes closed, and I saw clearly two hands approaching from the back of my skull. And those hands project these beams of blue light from the palms. I saw the blue light going into my skull, and I sense and hear the sound of the vibration buzzing as it went through my skull, like zzz, zzz, zzz. Every sound, every vibration went through the skull and hit my forehead. With the third vibration, I saw an explosion of light, like, and in between the light, as I opened my eyes, I saw this being standing in the opposite side of the table. See, across the table, he was just there. And I was in shock. Like I told you, I was like ready to run, ready to cry. My heart was going so fast. I was scared. Are you gonna say something? What's going on? And then he extended this energy and embraced me. I couldn't see the energy, but it was tangible. Like I could feel it. It was very real, even though I couldn't see it. And the embrace made me feel like a little brother, and my mind translate that feeling into little brother. But it's not just little brother. It was a real loving feeling. I didn't have any doubt in my mind or my heart that he really saw me as a little brother. I accepted completely so much that I lowered my defenses at the moment. My heart relaxed. I felt like I could just release and then look at him. And he continued with this flow of feeling that my brain translate. As I told you, then I realized what telepathic communication was really about. It was not the transmission of uh, words, thoughts, or even images. Those three things are a consequence of the feeling you get. And the feeling is complete because an image is just let's say, a fraction of reality. A word is also compressing meaning. But when you have a feeling, you have the whole experience. So everything he said or he felt, my nervous system translate into my language. At the time, that was Spanish because I was living in Lima, Peru. That's my maternal language. So he said, I'm here for you. There was a necessity to calm down because you are not the antenna of the group. And we respect your effort to become this role representing your group and with the intention of helping your group. So every time you do this, every time you confront this reality, and if you do it in service for others, we will be happy to assist you, to back you up. Right now, I need you to take this experience and tell it to the group, to your group. Explain to them what happened. You will see some resistance in them, but between the group is going to be one that is ready to receive communications in this way. He is the antenna of the group. You just need to tell the story and you'll see what happens. So I was not disappointed by the fact that I was not the antenna at the time. Later in the experience of contact, I became an antenna. Not the best antenna or the good antenna, but I received some information. But at the time, I guess in normal conditions, I would have been disappointed. That was my third attempt. But the fact of being in front of them, having this exchange, so amazing, so different, so out of the norm, that was for me like an open mind, open heart. So after he finished telling that, he waited and looked at me like, are you gonna ask something? And I knew in the back of my mind that I have 1,000 questions for him, but I couldn't reach for not even one, not even half of a question. I was blank. I was like a sponge receiving, but I couldn't give anything out. So he smiled, and around his body was a contour of light. That was not an aura at all. I've seen auras. That was not. That was something bright around his body. When he smiled, like saying goodbye, or with the feeling of, I'll see you soon, that bright contour of light started shining, and then his whole image collapsed in midair, like one of those. I compare this with those old TVs in black and white. When you turn them off, the whole image went into a spot and then it vanished. Imagine that that happened to him. If you ask me, that was a physical encounter or that was a holographic projection or that was, I don't know. That felt so physical, real, beyond my comprehension. I don't know. I had different encounters of that type through the experience of contact, but that was the first one. So that really marked me. And next day, obviously, I ran towards the group and I tell them with enthusiasm what happened to me and the whole procedure I follow. And most of them didn't believe me. They told me that's not the way you receive a communication. Normally is energy that runs into your body and then you feel the thoughts and then the electrical charge in your arm and then you write. That's automatic writing, know what you did. I said, yeah, but that's what happened to me. So most of them just reject my story like it was my imagination. But one of the guys in the group, his name Victor Benitez, Victor was really curious and he approached me and he says, Enrique, exactly, step by step, what did you do? Just show me. So I did. I explained to him. The rest of the group went to play ping pong. I remember they were playing in the other room. As I was explaining to Victor the details of what happened, 2 days later, Victor called me. He was telling me that even in the bus, he started receiving this information and he had to grab a napkin and ask for a pencil or pen around and write. And yeah, he was the antenna of the group. He started receiving fluently. And through him, we received messages and invitations to go to do some camping sites in the mountains, in the rainforest, in different locations in the coast of Peru. And that was a really nice experience that we have together. Not just the paranormal encounter, but the human encounter, the contact with my peers, the people that were living this with me in the same age, at the same time, and the spirit of wonder we developed through this experience and how we felt these beings as kind of like coaches that were guiding us through the development of certain abilities, perceptions. That was an amazing time for me. And I put this up front because everybody's speaking now about releasing information and opening the secret files and the top secret about UFOs. And now they don't call it UFOs. In Spanish, we call them ovnis, objeto volador no identificado, an identified flying object, a UFO. now UAPs and all this stuff, and now they are talking about races, and now they are talking about invasions, and I don't think it has anything to do with that. But my perception comes from more than 40 years in the field, first-hand experience. So this is what I'm going to share with you in this channel. And I'm going to be telling you one experience after the other because I reflect on all of those through the years, trying to understand what is this about. Regarding telepathy, I feel that telepathy um, is something that is already inside. We already have it. It's just that we are not in the right environment to trigger it. Let's say there is an atmosphere, a climate that we create in consciousness as the humans we are. Our species create this field, this climate, where you are so afraid that someone knows what you think that you create the illusion that your mind is actually separated from other minds out there. So you say, I don't understand or know about what my mom is thinking, or my partner, or my fiance, or my kid. I just don't know, right? Okay. But how about if I tell you that it's not about knowing? It's not about text. It's about the feeling. So in the contact with those beings, I I comprehend through experience, not just understood, but I comprehend through living the experience. That because they were so open and trying not to protect the ego and the illusion of me being this, they just open that up. They create this openness in my field. And for those moments, I'm a little detached from the collective climate of humankind and I could exchange in a different way. But that was already in me. And I'm absolutely sure every human being that is in that experience of contact is going to experience the same. It's not that I am telepathic. We are natural telepath people. That telepathy is not about thought, not even about image. It's about feeling. And you have to cultivate that feeling that connects you with everything that is alive. And the more you connect with the feeling, you understand first and then comprehend as you can reflect on the experience of the other. Um, that's what I feel about telepathy these days. Um, my work is not being a contactee. No, I am a therapist. Of course, I don't talk about this with the people I work with, um, but I know there is a necessity uh, to extend, to give voice to these experiences because these are part of our climate, our collective consciousness that right now is shifting and is pushing through these illusions, looking for new understanding and comprehension. So I'm gonna share my experience with you. I hope you like this video. Try to subscribe if you haven't, and I promise you every week I'll be uploading more and more information about what I call my disclosure of the experiences I have and my group has. Thank you very much, and I'll see you around.